It is now recording. Thank you so much for that up reminder, Alyssa. All right. So again, I hope you were able to cover that, the difference between the region of rejection and the region of acceptance. And the critical value, guys, is the value that separates between the rejection and the acceptance region. Okay? Unstable kayang internet connection sa Bugobos. All right. So here, we need to consider these items, guys, because this is going to be the basis for our decision making. Now, if the claim, guys, do you see the HO? That's the null hypothesis. The HA is the alternative hypothesis. If the claim is HO and then your decision making is to reject HO, you can conclude there is enough evidence to reject the claim. The claim here is the HO man, but you are rejecting HO. You can say that there is enough evidence to reject the claim. That's your conclusion. Or you can say there is enough evidence to reject the alternative hypothesis. Guys, galihok na. Makita niyo yung cursor nga na ay naglihok or no? Do you see a hand moving? I'm actually using a PDF. I'm using a PDF file to make it like in a full screen mode ba? Okay. Yeah, I think so, David. Makita daw. Naglihok imong mouse ako pero imong nang nag-pause. Ay, okay. I don't know. But yeah, sagday na lang akong naong anyway. So let's continue. If the claim is HA, or the alternative hypothesis, and then you're going to accept it, mo ni imong decision making, there is not enough evidence to support the claim. Okay? So, in other words, you can say there is not enough evidence to support the alternative hypothesis. Masig malipat mo ani ba? But take note of these statements, guys. I'll give you 2 minutes to internalize the difference between the two. All right, so I think 2 minutes is enough, so let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so I hope you can see this, how to identify the claim. Let's have an example. Suppose a researcher claims that the mean weight of an adult animal of a particular species is 42 pounds. This is very easy to identify which one is the claim, guys. So in this case, the claim would be the null hypothesis. Okay, diba? Remember mo, the null hypothesis would tell us that there's no difference, meaning to say they are equal. The alternative hypothesis is the other way around. That would a statement that would tell us that there's a difference, and that difference could either be not equal to, less than, or greater than. Now, for this case here, you say, suppose a researcher claims that the mean weight of an adult animal of a particular species is 42 pounds. So if you're going to state your null hypothesis, you would say mu, or mean, equals 42. And that would clearly tell us that that statement is the claim, because based on the problem or based on the statement, that's the claim of the researcher. Okay? There's a lot of questions in the chat. How do you later on, Ricardo, reject and accept yes, reject the null. When you reject the null, you accept the alternative. When you reject the alternative, you accept the null. How do you verify an error? Later on, we'll discuss as we go with a step-by-step process. Okay. Next, example number 2. Suppose the researcher claims that the mean weight of the animal is not 42 pounds. So, unsay difference aning duha ka book statement, guys? Every time that we state the null hypothesis, it should always be equal to. Okay? And every time we state the alternative hypothesis, It should be something that would tell us a difference. Now, for this example number 2 here, our null hypothesis would still be equal to 42 because the null hypothesis would tell us that there's no difference. But here it tells that the mean weight of the animal is not 42. In other words, not equal to. So it clearly shows that the alternative hypothesis is not equal to 42. Okay. This is not going to be my homework, guys, but I want you to tell me. I don't know if I can annotate. I think I can annotate. I want you to tell me what's the null hypothesis for this case here. So what's our HO? Can anyone tell me what's the HO for this problem? A researcher thinks that if expectant mothers use vitamin pills, the birth weight of the babies will increase. The average birth rate of the population is 8.6 pounds. So what's our null hypothesis? Equal to 8.6. Is that a question, Sophia, or answer? It's 8.6. And what's our alternative hypothesis? Greater than. Very good. Why do you say so it's greater than? Increase. And this time, you need to identify which one is the claim, which of these two is the claim. Very good. It's the alternative hypothesis. This is the claim. Why do you say so nga mao na ang claim, guys? It's because of this statement here. The researcher thinks nga if ang mother will use vitamin pills, the birth weight of the babies will increase. And that talks about the alternative hypothesis. Is that easy? Is that easy? It is. I think it is. So, ang inyo nagyuhang goal, ani guys, as I've mentioned before, you had to level your understanding a little bit higher, your comprehension and reading. So let me proceed to the next problem. Here, an engineer hypothesizes that the mean number of defects can be decreased in a manufacturing process of compact disc by using robots instead of humans for certain tasks. The mean number of defective discs per 1,000 is 18. So what's our null hypothesis? And what's our alternative hypothesis? What's our null hypothesis? It's 18, equal to 18. Equal to 18. Good. And what's our alternative hypothesis? Which one, Angela? You have two there. less than 18. Very good. Why do you say so it's less than 18? Because of the number of defects can be decreased. Okay, very good. And which one is the claim? Alter? I'm thinking of different thing about alter. Sorry. So the alternative hypothesis is the claim. So it says here, an engineer hypothesizes that the mean number of defects can be decreased in the manufacturing process. So yeah, that's it. And that's easy. I hope everyone would be able to answer. Guys, ang problem ra gyud ani guys no is dapat kasabot ra mo sa dagan sa problem or sa situation, and then solution-wise, the formula will be given to you right away, and then you just solve it. Simple. No, it doesn't matter because the idea is ang average daw sa kada 1,000 is 18, and we're talking about the average of the population, man. So 1,000 is the total population size. Oh, diba? Yes, pwede ma-claim ang null. Later on, we'll have more examples kung sa ma-claim ang null. But then again, you have to understand sa problem. Naragin na sa problem ng clue, Sophia. So here, a psychologist feels that playing soft music during a test will change the results of the test. In the past, the mean scores was 73. The mean of the scores was 73. So what's our null hypothesis? Very good. And what's our alternative hypothesis? Good job, Alexis. Not equal to 73. Good job, Jack. Why do you say so it's not equal to 73? Why? Why it's not equal to? Why not less than or greater than? Will change. Very good. And which one is the claim? The alternative or the null? Good job, Ricardo. It's still the alternative hypothesis. So I'm assuming, guys, nga ma-perfect na ninyo during exams. Kaya again, as I've mentioned earlier, in the examination, poor now, the examination, guys, there will be no multiple choices this time because it doesn't make sense if a multiple choice go. Well, there are multiple choices, but like mga terms lang, something like that, mga basics. But as far as the hypothesis testing is concerned, it's a step-by-step process. Remember the definition of hypothesis testing? It's a decision-making process. Alt F4, Jack. Close it, Jack. Sige, after stating the hypothesis, guys, the researcher then designs a study. This is where you choose your level of significance. This is what I mentioned before. Na the level of significance will be up to the researcher. But for our case, since we are still in like school, like we are not doing the actual research yet, I'm gonna set the level of significance for everyone so that we would have a uniform answer. If I would allow you to make or choose your own level of significance, guys, it'll be hard for me to check all your paper individually. So I would set the level of significance as the same as everyone. And then selection of the correct statistical tool. This is also another thing that you need to consider because there are different types of statistical tool or statistical treatment to be used. Okay? And then formulates a plan for conducting the study. We're not going to do that technically because we're just going to do hypothesis testing. These are the steps of hypothesis testing traditional method. Diba, I mentioned before there are two methods I'm going to focus on. These are the traditional method and as well as the p-value method. So we are going to discuss first the traditional method, and these have 5 steps. State the hypothesis and identify the claim. Find the critical values from the appropriate table. Compute the test value. Make the decision to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis by showing an illustration. And then lastly, 5, summarize the results and state the conclusion. Okay. Here's the scenario, guys. These 5 steps that I just actually showed you guys, it was like a consolidated data that I gathered or information that I gathered from different books. There are a lot of books that will provide steps in doing hypothesis testing. It could be either greater than 5 or less than 5, okay? But in this lesson, I consolidated every references that I use to fuse all the different number of steps into 5-step lang. But if you are going to read another book, you might be confused, nga nung na ay 7 steps, nga nung na ay 4 steps diri, and so on and so forth. But the process, guys, would never change. It would give you the same answer. Okay? So let's work on one example. But before that, let me introduce to you the first statistical tool or treatment. Okay? This is the first statistical tool or treatment. Z-test for a mean. This is a tool for the mean of population, or you want to check or test the claim of the population mean. These are the requirements for you to be able to use the Z-test for population mean. First, the sample is randomly picked. Number 2, either n is greater than 30 or the population is normally distributed if n is less than 30. Another thing that you need to consider is that if the population standard deviation is given or known, you're going to be using the z-test. I'll repeat. If n is greater than 30, or if it's n less than 30, dapat the population is normally distributed. Meaning to say, it tends to become a normal curve. And plus, the population standard deviation is given. Because in about sa quizzes, guys, dili na mo tell ni mo or dili na siya musulti if it's z-test or t-test. You had to identify it. And this is the formula. This is what I mentioned before. The formula is given. Is this familiar, guys? This is familiar using the central limit theorem, right? There was a second z formula that we had before. So x prime or x bar is a sample mean. U is a hypothesized population mean or the claim. Population standard deviation, and then the n sample size. Okay. So are you ready for one example? All right. So here, I hope you can read everything, guys. I hope you can read everything. A researcher wishes to see if the mean number of days that a basic, low price, small automobile sits on dealer's lot is 29. A sample of 36 automobile dealers has a mean of 30.1 days for basic, low price, small automobiles. At alpha, I'm going to set the level of significance, which is the alpha. At alpha, test the claim that the mean is greater than 29 days. The standard deviation of the population is 3.8 days. This is clearly stating the standard deviation is coming from the population. And with that being said, the z-test will be used for this particular problem. Question so far? Here's a formula, Alexis. There. So again, these are the requirements, guys, for you to be able to use the z-test for a mean. First, the population standard deviation should be given or should be known. The sample is randomly picked, and the sample size is greater than 30. But if it's not greater than 30, the population distribution should be normally distributed or should be normal. So for this example that we have here, let's pre-qualify it. First, do we have a standard deviation? The answer is yes. Is the standard deviation coming from the population? Yes or no? The answer is yes. As you can see on the last statement, the standard deviation of the population is 3.8 days. In other words, that's coming from the population. Second, is n greater than 30? Meaning to say the sample size is greater than 30. Yes or no? What is the sample size? Sugod na kalibog. So asa man gyud ani, sir? The sample is 36. Guys, you know what is a sample is? The sample is the test population or test size coming from the population. So a sample of 36 automobile dealers, mo na ang gipick number of items. Okay? Now, maglibog na mo, sir, unsa ng 29 ng 30.1 days? Who would like to answer? Unsa ng 29 ng 30.1 days? Is that a question, Angela? Or answer? Period. All right. Good point. Good job, Angela. The 30.1 days, guys, that is the sample mean. That is the mean coming from the sample of 36 automobile dealers. So, sabda na ko ng problem. A sample of 36 automobile dealers has a mean of 30.1 days. In other words, that 30.1 days is a sample coming from the, is a mean coming from the sample. Ang kanang 29 nga average, guys, is the mean coming from the population. Nagets? Nagets na? Are we good? Okay, let's check your answer, Ricardo. So let's do the first step, sa. What is our null hypothesis? Let me annotate. What is our null hypothesis? I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Wait guys ha. I'm going to be taking a snip of this and then sige, where's my whiteboard? Where are you? Huh? Did I close it? Wait guys ha. I'm gonna escape this and then whiteboard. Sige. Para mas makita ninyo ang process, I'm gonna do something where I'm writing the solution. Oops. Here. Okay. So I hope you can still read this. And then whiteboard, where are you? Okay, here. All right, so I hope you can see that. Okay, so what is our null hypothesis? That's our statement, our step one. Step one. What is our null hypothesis? Is that a question, Alisa? Or Ricardo? The answer is, it is. So it equals 29. Right? Nga nung dili 30.1? Why do you say so? Why it's not 30.1? Nga nung 29? The answer is, we are testing the population. Atong ikuan ba? For example, no niya, ano ko, sabi mong problem ko niya, ang researcher daw, ang researcher ba, iyang tanawon if ang number of days sa population sa dealer kay naabay 29 as a mean. We are testing the population mean. Para ma-check na siya nga tinuod ba yung 29, motong ni-pick siya og 36 ka buok automobile nga sample nga dealers. Ang kanang 36 ka buok ni hatag og 30.1 days nga mean and then standard deviation so on and so forth. So our alternative hypothesis, guys, is what? What's our alternative hypothesis? Very good. Good job, Ricardo. There. Next, what's gonna be our claim? Kasi claim ba to, ani? Alternative or null hypothesis? Very good. This time it's the null na. Null. Ay, sorry. This time it's a claim na. It's the null na ang claim. This was the example. Why is it null? So okay. Here. Tanawa ni siya nga statement here. Ana. If we were to understand that statement, guys, the reason behind, if we're going to translate that into our own term, the researcher is trying to see, the researcher is trying to see if the mean of the number of days of the automobile dealer is really 29. Okay? Who is Gui Chui Choco? Who is that? Gui? Yeah. Gui? Good morning, sir. Sorry, later lag Wi-Fi. Gui? I don't know. Gui Chui Choco. Wait. Gui Chui Choco. I don't know kung sana. But going back, guys, sa question ni Alexis, nganong ang null may nganong null may claim. Take a look at the first line of this problem, guys. The rationale behind is that it tells us that the researcher wants to check if the mean number of days of these automobile dealer is really 29. And to know if it's really 29, he picked a sample size of 36. Kuha? So that's why the claim is the null hypothesis. Step 2. Sorry, wrong color. Step 2. Find the critical values from the appropriate table. Okay, so this is where we're going to use the Z table. So the alpha, guys, is 0.05. Agree? It's given in the problem. Next. Next. We are going to be using the Z table to know the critical value. Okay, huh? Now, Z table, because this is a Z test, we know nga population standard deviation is given, which is 3.8 days. The question here now then, guys, is this one tail or two-tailed test? Do you remember? Is it one-tailed or two-tailed test? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, no. Sige, I'm gonna show you the PowerPoint presentation again, ha? Sige, para maka-remember mo. I'm gonna stop sharing and then share the what? Sa to? Sa tong PDF. Where's the PDF? Sige, I'm just gonna share my screen, ha? Here. Sige, scroll up ko. There. Is it one-tailed? Two-tailed? One-tailed or two-tailed? Very good. It's one-tailed. So I'm gonna stop sharing. So guys, remember, lagi mo itong kuhaan. Banana ko nga, ipang-remember to ninyo. So it's a one-tailed test. In fact, it's a right-tailed test. So, one-tail test. Okay na? Are we good? So in other words, guys, this is a one-tailed test Ang kanang alpha, guys, is technically the area na siya. The area to the right. Wrong na siya. So if this is the normal distribution graph curve, this is the where the mean is. Somewhere here, kani siya, assuming a 0 point, no, not that one. Assuming kani siya here, kani nga line here, do also 1. Maoni ang sana? I know. Dako ra ka, I know. 0.05, gamay-gamay mo na siya. So, na siya somewhere here. Kana. Technically, guys, kaning alpha, guys, is the area na siya. Area of the curve nga consider nimo. Sa kani siya nga portion here, that's the area of 0.05. Kuha? You just need to find unsa may z-score or z-value for that area nga 0.05. How to know? So, murutag mo bali. Natay area, pangitaan na to ang z-score. Sige, I'm gonna show you sa on ha. Let me share my kuansa. Let me stop sharing sa. Ako nila kay share ko ano kanang whole window nang nako na pero mang close ako mga kuan ha mga dili mao ha. Nganong di ko close og kuan. Mang close ako ani. Okay. I think I am safe to share my screen. Wait, so. Share my entire screen. Okay, here. Pwede na ako mag-shift. So, I'm gonna search Z table. So I think this was the one that I was using earlier. I mean, I was like here. Asa naman to? Kanang dako og screen. So I hope you can see this there. So I hope you can see that. Okay. So remember the area that we talked about was 0.05, right? So what we're going to do, guys, is that how to know the area here. Unsa ba kabaw sa area ana dira sa kilid? I mean, yeah. Unsa ba kabaw sa area ana? Very good. That's going to be 0.95. Very good. 0.95 ang area ani here. This gives us an idea that this one here is 0.95. Agree? Right? Or 0.95 or 0.45? 0.45 siguro. Or what? Ano lang? I'll use my calculator na lang. 0.45 lang. Sakto lagi. 0.45. 00. Agree? Agree nga ng 0.45? Wala question nga, no? Hello? None so far. Wala question. Sige. Now, I'm gonna go to the table that we have, guys. I'm gonna look for the 4-5, the area 4-5. Kaya remember, kani siya nga table, guys, kani nga table ba is the area coming from 0 nga z-score to a particular z-score. And then ating representation here is we are going to look for this area man para makaibaw taon sa ni diri. So we're gonna be looking at 4-5. Now, there are instances nga you wouldn't be able to locate the exact value. For this example, kaning 4-5. So what you're going to look for, guys, is the closest value to 4-5. And what you can actually find is kani siya. What can you find, guys, is, let me annotate. What can you find, guys, is, excuse me, kaning, asa naman to? 4-5. Kaning 4495 o 4505. They are both close to 45. Agree? Right? Agree? Do you agree, guys? So, sir, O say gamiton ani na duha, sir. You can use either of the two, guys. Either of the two. So ang imong z-score nga possible, guys, that you can use, it's either 1.64 or 1.65 because mao man ang giabutan sa 4495 ang 1.604 ug ang kani siyang 4505 1.65. So this is your critical value. Nagets na? Nagets na? So your critical value, guys, would be either 1.64 or 1.65. You can use either of the two. Let me remove the annotations. Clear. Questions so far? Naka-follow? Okay. So human natin sa step number 2. Let's work on step number 3. Step number 3 tells find the test value. This is using the formula na dayon. Katong ana, og ana, og ana, ana. Agree? Sige. Kinsa may sample mean na to sa problem? Kinsa may sample mean? Who would like to type or say the answer? Kinsa may sample mean sa problem? Alt H. Tara. Kinsa may sample mean sa problem, guys? Panapagamyan para I can see the chat box. So kinsa sample mean? I need answers. Sample mean is very good, Alexis and Simon and Zinel. It's 30.1. Sorry. 30.1. Population mean. 29. Great. Population standard deviation. 3.8. Kana. And then what is N? 36. Very good. And then we are just gonna solve it. So pila man na, guys. Go. Use your calculator. 30.1. Sorry. 30.1 minus 29. 3.8 over square root of 36. What's your answer? I think Ricardo answered earlier. What was your answer earlier, Ricardo? Huh? 0.05? Very good. Be careful. Can you double check your solution, Angela? So the answer is confirmed from Ricardo, 1.74. 1.74. Almenie, 1.74. Alisa also got 1.74. So we are done with step 3. Na. So let's do step 4. Step 4. Step 4, make the decision to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. So sa man na pag-decide, guys, your decision making will be based on step 2 and step 3. So nawaha ako i-illustrate ang step 2 ha. Sige. This is the curve and this is the critical value is 1.64 lang or you can choose either 1.64 or 1.65. This is the rejection area. So ang shaded region, guys, is the rejection area. Reject here. Ang kaning region here is accept. Sige. Karon, the value 1.74, asa siya na belong? The value 1.74 that we just solved as our test statistic, asa siya na belong? Sa acceptance region or sa rejection region? Perfect. In other words, the value which is 1.74 that we just solved in step 3 is found somewhere here. In other words, our decision for the number 4 item is to reject the null hypothesis. Clear? And then to do step 5, we have step 5. Step 5, summarize the result and state the conclusion. So because we are rejecting the null hypothesis, that's step 1, we are rejecting this. In other words, you can say there is enough evidence to reject the claim. So you can say there is enough evidence to reject the claim. In other words, guys, ang kaning researcher nga gihimo niya, guys, dili di ay tinuod nga 29 days ang mean sa population. It is true nga naay kalahian. It's greater than 29. Okay? Nganong greater than because we are rejecting this man, we are rejecting this, and we are accepting this. Change color ko ha, para makita niyo ang difference. So this is okay, we are rejecting that. And then let's use green color because we are accepting this. So that's the whole idea of doing hypothesis testing. So, do you think maka-answer mo if kamo lang? Do you want more example? We still have 30 minutes. Yes, always yun siya ang karing side mo reject. And then if it's going to be, mabita tong ganiha kaniba? Kaniyam ka na. Kani siya. Tawa kita mo ani, ang kanang mga shaded region, guys, is the rejection area. So if this is a right-tailed test, rejection ka na to the right. If it's a left-tailed test, the rejection is na sa left. Okay. Maka-answer if mag-quiz. What do you think? Ano di mo show ang chat? Uy. If two-tailed, ang duha ka side kay rejection side. So later on, I'm just this is just one example, guys. I'm trying to see if maybe you can if na may confusion. Okay, good question. Kani siya. Mo na imong basis, Angela, if it's two-tailed, one-tailed, or left-tailed or right-tailed. So you need to determine carefully the alternative hypothesis because your alternative hypothesis would determine kung if it's right-tailed, left-tailed, or two-tailed. Sige. More example? Sige. Let's have example here. We're done with this. Kani. A researcher claims that the average costs of men's, I'm just gonna take a screenshot ani para makaswat-suwat ta sa whiteboard and then maka-follows. Oh no, I'm gonna just wait sa guys ha, take a screenshot, cancel. Kani siya. Whiteboard here. And then kana. I hope you can see the screen. Kana. And then minimize me. And then our chat box. Kaya dapat na ako. Okay. So a researcher claims that the average cost of men's athletic shoes is less than 4,080. He then selects a random sample of 36 pairs of shoes from a catalog and finds the following costs. Is there enough evidence to support the researcher claim at alpha 0.10? Assume, unsa na siya nga symbol, guys. So, there are problems, guys, nga dili siya specifically mentioned ang standard deviation if it's coming from the population, if it's coming from the sample. Good answer, Angela. Is that coming from the population or sample? I know it's standard deviation, sir. Yes, that's true. But if it's coming from the population or sample? Very good, it's coming from the sample. So, unsa dito symbol for the, it's coming from the population. Unsa dito symbol for the sample standard deviation? Do you remember? the symbol is just S. S lang. Sample standard deviation. So with that being said, guys, the present that we have here, or the standard deviation that we have here is coming from the sample. We are still going to be using z-test for the mean. So we're still going to be using the same statistical treatment. The reason why is that, again, as I've mentioned, there are a lot of different tests, guys. Z-test, no? Look at this example here. It's p-value method. Another t-test for a mean. I'm just giving you the overview, ha? T-test for a mean. Human t-test for a mean. Natay gitawag nga z-test for a proportion. Human sa z-test for a proportion. Napadinira here. Testing the difference between two means aside using z-test and using t-test. So another na siya, another testing tool na sad or testing instrument. And then correlation and regression na dayon, yung human kay chi-square na dayon, and human sa chi-square kay ANOVA na dayon, and so on and so forth. Daghan kay day. So yeah, I hope makaya siya. No? Sige, where's my whiteboard? Kani, and then chat box. We were given this. All right, so what's our step one here? What's our null hypothesis? Good. What's our alternative hypothesis? Ken, are you sure? It should be, 40-80. Less than man. What's our claim? Alternative null. Very good. Claro na sa problem, it's alternative. Okay, step 2. What's our alpha? 10, very good. So I'm gonna, 0.10 asya guys, 0.10. So I'm gonna show you a table again. Left tail or right tail? Question? Is that a question, Angela? The answer is? The answer is left. Balik sa tadiri. Dali nyo malimot, guys. Tayo ba? Look at the alternative hypothesis. It's less than, and then the tail is on the left. So it should be, that's okay. It should be left. Kaya less than ba yung alternative? Kana, nagets na? Okay, so this is the mean. This is the alternative, the left side. So this is the area, guys, the area of 0.10. That's the area. That's a rejection period, 0.10. So pilay area ani from here to here. Pilay area ana dira. Pilay area ana kanang gikan sa tunga-tunga padong sa kaning line. Very good. So we know it's 0.440. So ato nang pangitaon ng 0.4000 sa katong table sa z-score, sa z-table. And if we cannot find it, we need to look for the closest one. So asa kahana, guys? Naadiri kaning 3997. Tama? Okay, kung adita sa 0.4015, Kaya ang distansya kay 15 man kabuok after mag 0.400. But kaning 0.3997, 3 ra yang distansya. Nagets? So I will be using the 0.3997. So I'm not gonna be using this. So unsa may z-score ana corresponding z-score 1.28. Very good. Good job. So going back sa table, so I'm just gonna clear the drawing na. So the z-score, the critical value is negative 1.28. Di mo sa ikuan, isa kay ang sign, kaya mo siya sa left, so it's negative 1.28. Sunod, step 3 na ta. Step 3. Step 3. Compute the test value. So z equals sample mean, population mean over standard deviation over square root of n. Pila may sample mean ani? Pila sample mean? Wala? Hi. Very good. Dang, we gotta compute it. Yes. He had to compute it. Sige guys, I hope you know how to compute the sample mean ha. I'm just gonna show you the solution ana nga problem. I think I have the solution pero if wala gani, we really need to solve it. Okay, wala gani ay. Anari ko solution na eh. Wala gani ka solution ana. Okay, so we are going to solve it manually. Sige, I'm gonna take my Excel. We still have how many minutes? 11. So we still have what? 15 minutes. So here's my Excel. Where's my Excel? And then I'm gonna plug in these numbers in Excel. So help me ha, if sakto ba kung mga numbers nga na plug in. Let me use my calculator. 360. Number 360. 250. 6120. 5610. 3825. 5610. 3570. 2040. 4590. 3315. 3060. 4335. 3825. 4080. 3825. 4080. 4590. 2250. 2805. 3570. 4335. 4335. 4590. 4590. 4080. 2550. 4080. 4335. 3060. 3570. Inaw na nasayop ha. Tapos, ang last, 2805, 4845, 3060, 2295, 4845, 3570. Okay. I think maora na. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36 kabuok. Sakto. Natay 36 kabuok. Okay. Let's solve for the average. So I'm just gonna highlight it until sa last number. The average is, nadiri sa ubos guys ay, average is 3823.83. So the sample mean is 38, what was that again? 2383. 2383. And what's the population mean? What's the population mean? It's 4080. Very good. And what is a population standard deviation? 979.20. And what is the n? N is 36. Go, use your calculator, guys, and let's solve it. Once I answer, Anna. So 3823.83 minus 4080, 979.20 square root of 36. Negative 1.57. Awesome. Key. So let's do step 4. Step 4, guys, is to decide whether to accept the null or reject the null. So let me illustrate it again. Oops, not that shape. So our critical value is negative 1.28. This is the rejection area. So is this going to be yes? Yes, Angela. Getting the mean, either sample or population, are just the same. Sige. Where does negative 1.57 belong? Rejection area or acceptance area? Good. So do we reject or accept? So the negative 1.57, guys, is somewhere here. In other words, that number belongs to the rejection area. So step 5, or reject the null hypothesis. Step 5, guys, is your conclusion adion. So because we are rejecting this, then you can say there is enough evidence to support the claim, because the claim is the alternative hypothesis. Question so far? Sa kaning example, sa duha ka pong examples that we have, guys, we are able to solve that the null are to be rejected. But there are also examples nga inig-solve nimo, for example, no, ari sa step 3, let's say, for example, ang mogawas aning resulta, laing numbers ha, ang mogawas aning resulta kay, let's say, negative 1.04, which is located here, 1.04, negative, which is, you need to accept the null hypothesis. Kaya ang test statistics belongs to the acceptance region man. It just so happened that the examples that we have, the test statistic belongs to the rejection area. Okay? Question so far? Sige, I'm gonna leave the screen sa asa ka na nga illustration. No, do not think that the shaded area is the null, and do not think that the unshaded area is the alternative. Think that the shaded area is the rejection area. If the value of the test statistic belongs to the shaded area, you're going to reject the null. If the value of test statistic belongs to the unshaded area, you're going to accept the null. So it's always the null. Sir, where did you get the 3823? Di ba mo na ang sample mean, Jack? Di ba mo na ang sample mean? And then the researcher picks 36 pairs of sample from the catalog. So these are the prices of the 36 pairs. You just have to add them and compute for the mean. That's the sample mean. Very good. So question so far, wala. Not necessarily the more it is unshaded. Your basis for the rejection of null, guys, is the value of your statistics. The step three. What I mean to say, step three. If your step three after you solve for step three, guys, you then try to find asa na belong ka na ang value. Is it from the rejection area or the acceptance area? It doesn't matter how many or how more or what or how large the area is shaded. What you're concerned of is the value of your test statistic. Yes, where the test value lands. That's correct. That's more precise than stating the more it is unshaded, reject the reject the null. So where the test value lands, that's more precise. Sige. Sige. As delete the assignments, by the way, but this is going to be kindly take a screenshot, everyone, for this item here. The Medical Rehabilitation Education Foundation reports that the average cost of rehabilitation for stroke victims, so this is now related to your field in the future. You're going to be like doctors. And I'm so excited for you guys. 24,627. That's a given. To see if the average cost of the rehabilitation is different in a particular hospital, a researcher selects a random sample of 35 stroke victims at the hospital and finds the average cost of their rehabilitation is $26.343. The standard deviation of the population is $3,251. At alpha 0.01, can it be concluded that the average cost of stroke rehabilitation at a particular hospital is different from 24,627? So what's your null hypothesis aning a problem? What is your null hypothesis? Sige. Napatay 10 minutes. Let's try to see if we can at least cover this. Sige. I'll be a fisherman with a suit. Very good. Sige, Sophia. Sophia, guys, master na niya ang null hypothesis, guys. So Sophia said the null hypothesis, sir, is 24,627. And what's our alternative hypothesis? Very good. Not equal to. Master na niyo, not equal to 24,627. And which one is the claim? Very good. Two-tailed na. Perfect na, di ba? So anak-anak. So which one is the claim, guys? Alternative, null. Null, very good. It's the null hypothesis. Is the claim, sorry. That should have been word claim. Very good. Now, naani twist. This is a step 1, by the way. Ang step 2, ani guys, naani twist. Okay? Nga nung naani twist, because if you notice the alternative hypothesis, it uses the not equal to. Okay? Delete automatically can tell that the area of both sides, of the tail of the curve is 0.01. You have to divide it by 2 because it's two-tailed. So alpha over 2 equals 0.01 over 2. The answer is 0.005, if I'm not mistaken. 0.01 divided 0.005. Nagets? Naka-follow? So in other words, the area of each tail, guys, is given by 0.005. And this one as well here is given by 0.005. I divided the alpha by 2 because of the alternative hypothesis that uses not equal to. But if the alternative hypothesis only uses either less than or equal to, do not divide it by 2. Go directly and solve for the z-score. Yes, the alpha is the entirety of the area. All right, so using the table, guys, we have 0.005. So, pila may area ana, guys, gikan sa tunga? Pila may area sa unshaded region? Pila man? Okay, 0. Is it 99 or 9000? 0.50 minus 1. Sure mo, oy. Taka lang mo da. Dili, kanira man, sa center man. Sa center, ah. Is it 0.495? 0? Thank you so much, Hazel. 4950 raw. Sige, ito din naman ang last na lang. Sige. So, 4950. Asa man ang 4950? I think na exact value. 4950. 4950. Dali, kay gutom na please. 4950. Pakita na. Dara, ay, wala din. Duha de kabuk ang duol, guys. Duha kabuk ang duol. Kani, 4949 o 4951. Sige, pili lang ta. Akong pilion na ni guys kay 2.57 lang. So the z-score that I'm gonna be using is 2.57 or you can use 2.58. Kay mo man ang duha ang close nila. Okay? Sige, 2.57. Sige, ang z-score is positive 2.57 and the other one is negative 2.57. No? It's raining. So step 3. Unsay value, guys? Sige, I'm gonna make it fast, ha? Z sample mean, bilay sample mean, guys? 26,343 minus 24,627 over standard deviation of 3251 over square root of 35. Will answer? That's still using the Z formula, ha? Sige natang paspasan. 26343 minus 24627 over 3251 square root of 35, 36. The answer is 3.12. Very good. Paspasa, ah. Sige. Going back sa, thank you so much, Elijah, Giselle, Sophia, and then Alisa. Sige, I'm gonna stop at step 3. Kamu ni bahala sa step 4 and 5. Step 3, are we going to reject the null hypothesis or accept the null hypothesis? Very good, Angela. Reject the null hypothesis because according to Ricardo earlier, where your test statistic lands, that's going to be the basis to reject or accept the null hypothesis. Because 3.12, guys, can belong na somewhere here, na somewhere dira, meaning to say you reject the null hypothesis. So, din ako mag-draw ha. Ako nalibutang step 4, reject null hype. And then step 5, because we are rejecting the null hypothesis, we are rejecting this. We can say there is no enough evidence to support the claim. Because we are not supporting the claim, man. We are rejecting it. There's no enough, or there's not enough, or no. There's not enough evidence to support the claim. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Questions? We still have 1 minute. Gutom na bitaw, guys. And it's raining outside, aren't they? Yes, it is. I have reasons to reject you. Yeah, you can use hypothesis testing guys. So if someone manguyab ninyo, paki-full view. Kana, kana. Mabasa pa siya? Kanang sana. I'm gonna clear the annotation here. Readable pa siya? Okay. Sige. Thank you so much for listening, guys. So next week, again, I'm not going to give you assignment for this week, guys, ha? Because I'm gonna be uploading a PT, performance task nga duha ka buok. That's for third quarter nga performance task. And deadline will be April 16, 11:59 p.m. Duha ra guys, sayang na kay guys. You don't have to worry. So no assignment for today. It's performance task for the third quarter. And once you're going to submit it completely, mahuman na ako grado ang inyong midterm exam, midterm grade. Why malate-late, guys? Say mag-late-late. Anyway, so question so far, guys. Yep. That's a good question. Okay, yeah. What ako yung plano i-upload? Sige, upload na lang. Sige. Yeah, that's my plan unta after finish discussing everything. Anyway, so question so far. No more questions? Guys, to be honest, gutom na bitaw, guys. Sige, let's eat na, oy. Sir, sa step 3 niyo mo sa last, which is which na? Kani? Okay, ang mga values. Ang kanang 26343 is the sample mean. That's when the researcher selected 35 stroke victims and it give him or it produces 26343 nga sample mean. Ang kanang 24627 is a population mean for the stroke victims. And then kanang 3251 is a population standard deviation, which is in the problem, 3251. And then the 35 is the number of stroke victims nga iyahang gipik. Sige. All right. Guys, you can revisit this recording again. You can revisit this and review. Thank you so much, guys, and you do take care. I'm gonna be ending the meeting. I'm gonna be ending the meeting na ha. Hi, kutas ang research, kutas ang statistics, guys. Take care, everyone. Buyers.